YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Gamer here. I have some unfortunate news. So, this happened over a week ago. Last time I tried recording this episode, I'm recording for you guys now. We had a major power outage in the area. I think 2,000 or 3,000 people were affected. And I got through 7 races. All of them were wins, by the way. Like in my notes. All 7 races that kicked off this video were wins. Power goes out. Progress doesn't save. And yeah, I essentially rage quitted and said, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to have to redo this again in a week because I did not have the energy in me to redo what I did. And now that I'm starting again, I'm going to try my best. But I mean, I won 7 of those races in a row, 5 of which are about to come up now. So I can honestly say in recent memory, probably one of the most frustrating things I've had to deal with in this game. Because again, the progress that was made, I should have been saving more consistently. I thought I had when I took a break, and apparently I didn't. I thought I kept these races, these 5, and nope. Anyways, I'm just going to try to go through these. I'll probably be quick for the first 5 races. This is an open with Big Friday. We are the favorite. Again, this is a race I ran before. I won pretty easily with this guy by Gentle House out of Butterfly Effect. I think he is at least a preceder or front runner. He's definitely one of the two. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, when I tell you that I was pretty frustrated, man, yeah, I couldn't believe of all the times for that to happen. It happened when I was on a winning streak. I hit actually 3 revolutions in those 7 races. I'm kind of spread apart, which I usually never do. It's a rarity when I'm hitting a revolution in one video, let alone 3 in the same video. It's just like, for whatever reason, it wasn't meant for that video to stay. It wasn't meant for that to go down, and I don't know why. But the power outage was obviously out of my control, and it's not like it just affected me. It affected, like I said, a lot of people in our regional area. So, yeah, that stunk, but once I realized it was out of my hands and it wasn't as if like I did something stupid, I felt a bit better. But because of the success and the progress I've made, that was frustrating. So I'm going to try to recreate that today as much as possible. I could totally see myself losing a race that I didn't lose initially, but I just have to be open to that. And again, just try my best to win the races that I should be winning. And I think as long as I do that, it's the best thing I can do. It's the only thing I can do. So again, Big Friday, this should be a pretty easy win for this guy. Forgot he does need last corner leader.
2 furlongs to go.
Good run. Getting off the rough. Last corner leader should hit. Now again, Big Friday I think is the real deal, so winning a race like this with him should be a given. It's an open after all. 2 or 3 taps, get him going. 10 is going to close late. At least we start off well there. Nothing changes in my notes as I already had that I want to race with them. I'm hoping it would be insane and amazing if I could just win every race that I had already won in the previous video, but we'll see. Anywho, hope you all are obviously doing well enough. Hoping you're enjoying the content. And position is still B, so I wonder if he's just a pure front runner. He might be. Probably put that in my notes to try him out until the game tells me where he wants to be. But we're moving on to a grade 3 with Desert Runner. He's the favorite in this race. He's finally getting to that point, I believe. This is my project horse. I'm relying on hopefully for good endurance pedigrees. 11 to 18 furlongs. That's the longest official distance marker I have on any of my horses. Good heart, good stamina, obviously decent power at the slightly above average level. Likes pack, close race okay. I think those are good abilities. So again, Desert Runner is a project horse I'm hoping can contribute to a long-term endurance pedigree with us, but we'll have to wait and see.
Are in the gate.
So
And they're off.
here we go, off and running. Time of this video is dropping. I think the Fairground Oaks, the Grade 2 Fairground Oaks for 3-year-old fillies on the road to the Kentucky Derby, or excuse me, Kentucky Oaks, will be happening later today. That you guys are seeing this, if you're not seeing it well after the Fairgrounds Grade 2 race happens. A couple of fillies in there I think people should be paying attention to. It's a much more competitive field than I expected, and yeah, really excited to see how they fare. I think the Oaks might have a tougher field of horses than the Derby this year. I'm not impressed by the Colts. I got to be honest with you guys. And I'm still doing my research. I'm still giving things time because there's still obviously a number of prep races until we get actually to the Derby weekend itself in the first weekend of May, or the first week of May. But
down the backstretch.
yeah, I'm not impressed by the Colts on the Derby trail this year. I'm not saying anyone isn't good. I'm just saying compared to previous years, I feel like it's underwhelming. And when you compare that to the Fillies on the road to the Kentucky Oaks, I feel like there's a much higher quality class of horses that are racing in the Kentucky Oaks chase in the Derby. That's just my thoughts, and I'm probably going to turn that into a separate discussion video at some point. But yeah, it just feels a little bit underwhelming this year, which I'm kind of surprised by, but you know, hopefully the Derby will still turn out to be a great race despite that.
And they're in the home stretch.
Okay, so we got a good run here from Desert Runner. He's got the endurance, and all I got to do is just keep him pushing forward. The 9 is keeping up with us. We have a decent power rating, so we should be able to eat this incline well. The 9 is still sticking with us. Close race, okay. There it is. And that is why I picked up Desert Runner. We're 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Nothing has to change. That makes me really happy so far. And that's, again, these are wins I had in the previous recording. So hopefully this will continue on this trajectory. Not to mention this group of horses I'm running with in this video. Typically the horses I'm more comfortable with more often than not. Big Friday obviously is a recent horse, 2-year-old I'm still working out. Trying to find his rhythm. But we won that open race with him. Cleared that easily. So hope that continues here. Naked Chariot's going to be up in a grade 2. Valley Stakes going 9 furlongs at Nagano here in Japan. Third favorite, top 3 goal, which is good. Naked Chariot, again, is a horse I had earlier on in this playthrough. I didn't have any good brood mares for him at that point in time. Not to mention, I don't even think I was in a I don't think I was in a position to retire him for breeding. I hadn't unlocked that yet, from my understanding. So it would be nice to obviously retire him. And yeah, just see what type of horses he could sire with the quality of broodmares we have now. I made this point in the video that didn't save, but I made a good point that when I last had this horse, Naked Chariot, I mean, the quality of broodmares, I mean, our world was turned upside down. Like, it was that drastic and that different. Now we have super broodmares, we have double S mares, and you know, whatnot. So I think the quality puts us in a good position now to be able to do the type of breeding that we want to do with some of these horses. Now, Naked Chariot's only an S-ranked horse, but that doesn't bother me. I've received plenty of high-quality horses using S-ranked studs, S-ranked broodmares, so on and so forth. Now, typically I like to run him more as a closer, but this pace is kind of, I mean, it's moderate for us, so I think we'll just have to try to take advantage of this if I'm in a position to do so. Don't really like what they're doing. Now the inside's completely closed up. It is what it is. You know, when the AI make those moves where they actually kind of overtake us and get in front of us, that doesn't happen all the time. That's why I usually don't react, because I'm not... When it happens, you know?
2 furlongs to go.
Okay, don't know where to go. Wow, we actually got through that gap. That's a great run here for Naked Chariot. I don't know if it's going to get us into the top 3. It's going to be a tough ask. I thought the move was nice, and definitely not going to put us in the top 3. So this is a race I didn't win, but to be honest, it was not a comfortable one. And you see, that's a race I won. That was one of the 7 in a row that I won, and not even close. Not even close. Thought it was a good run, and turned out not to be. So it's the only thing about doing recordings this old-fashioned way. It's just like, if something happens, you're at the mercy of whatever happens. So yeah, I can't even marinate on that anymore. It's a 9th place, and I just have to move on because I can't do that to myself. Victoria Stakes Grade 1 here with Rock Your Hurricane. This is a race I also won. He's a 6th favorite. And in this race that I won in the previous upload, or the previous video again that didn't save, we had a revolution. So again, that's the frustrating thing. Like, of all the times for me to win a bunch of races in a row, I can't exaggerate when I say my luck and fortune with this game seems so up and down sometimes. I just don't think other people seem to deal with the same type of potential headaches that I do. You know, certain things within my control, a number of them completely outside of my control. And it's just like, am I the only one in the Gallop Racer universe that deals with these things from time to time?
The horses are
Because sometimes it feels like it is, but there's got to be somebody else that's gone through some their fair share of just unlucky things in Gallop Racer, right? And it doesn't even have to necessarily be to like saving your progress. It could be anything, you know, anything that kind of you're like, I love this game, but that's one thing that, you know, it just always seems to mess with me. Like, I figure most people would have something along the sorts. And then, like, we've had slow paces. Like, ironically, the one time I want front runners to actually go aggressive at the front when I'm not on a front runner. And then nobody wants to take advantage of the pace, even though we're running faster in these last splits. Now I gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Gotta go.
2 furlongs to go. Show your gut.
I feel like this turn is gonna hurt us, man. And I had to sit up. Did not want to do that. We have a top 6 goal. Rocky Hurricane trying and just not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. This is so frustrating. You guys are gonna hear it today, so I apologize, and I'm gonna try my best. But this is why I was so mad when I lost the recording and I just said bleep it and I didn't come back to it, because now these races that I won, I'm not gonna win probably. The same thing in that situation. Not having my horses in the ideal position. Those are circumstances that are in my control, but. To be honest with you, I'm just trying to get through these races as quick as possible. I can't sit. This is, I think, what I talked about previously, maybe a few videos ago, where I'm like, I can't redo my saves. This is exactly what happens if I have to do it. It kills my immersion with the game, and it makes me not want to play it. That's why, like, typically, even if I have bad results, I just stick with them, because the thought of having to go back and to redo it, it's frustrating when it happens, but I would rather just leave it and let it go. Those are 2 races I shouldn't have lost, but, you know, like I said, it's just one of those things. I think mentally as well, I'm probably a little bit not as focused for some of these races, because I'm just like, well, I won them before. If I can win them again, great. If I don't, not hitting my goals is not ideal at all, but I don't really know what the Naked Chariot race, not ideal. I certainly should have had him closing. And kind of the same thing with Rocky Hurricane. Like, those are 2 races back-to-back I just ran that usually the AIs, usually they're much faster at the front when they're setting the pace. And ironically, the one time I would like them to be faster, they're going the slowest, and then I'm having to overcompensate, not really putting my horses in the best position to succeed. And then, you know, there it is. It's a multitude of problems that can cause the race to not go according to plan. So, like I said, it is what it is. This is the 5th race out of 7. Again, I am trying to get through this as quickly as possible. Like, when I was doing the initial video, I think this took like over 40 minutes. And we're, what, about 15 minutes in right now. So, with 2 more races to go after this. I don't want to lose any of my horses, but I can't. I can't marinate too long. I just have to run these races, see what we get, and if we do well, we do well. If we fail, we fail. I just want to make sure I don't lose my horses, because if I lost a horse, that would be even more insult to injury. It's like,
5 furlongs to go.
You know, it's like, are you telling me, Tecmo, Gallop Racer, PS2, whatever, I win these races, I do well enough, and then you take them away, and then you know,
okay,
just
this is
worst case scenario, I'm hoping doesn't happen, but hopefully Marksman can get a win here today. This is another guy that had a win, and I guess I'm just in this spot. Now I feel like there's pressure of having to really get the right thing going. Now we have a long way to go. Let's see if Marksman can fight. He has a good power rating. He has good endurance. I won the race the last time in a similar fashion. I just tried to run these horses down, and he has a great power rating again that aided me to get there. Almost overwhipped. Now look at this drive from Marksman. Look at this drive. And as I was just saying, if I win a race, awesome. If I don't, I don't. Unfortunately, I guess Marksman was too strong for this race regardless. We'll take it. And that's a grade 1 that sticks at 14 furlongs. So happy about that. And yeah, I want to save this progress. As long as Naked Chariot and Rocky Hurricane are still, at our stables, I am okay with what's happened. It's like one of the first times I've had a race where it's just all S's, like just single S's that I've got for the eval. It doesn't usually happen. So 3 for 5 in that stretch. Better than nothing. In fact, I'm surprised I even still won 3 of these races back. I came into this episode completely expecting to lose like all of those races or maybe only win 1. So let me make sure I have who is it? Rocky Hurricane and Naked Chariot. Rocky Hurricane and okay, thank goodness. They want you in the Osaka Classic, and you know what? That's fine. I think we need to see what you're capable of. In fact, let me save. This is what I think I didn't do last time. I think I just went straight into doing my additional 2. So I'm going to have to make a reminder now, like as soon as I come back to the screen, I need to save, even if it's only 1 race. It's a terrible habit, but again, if you guys have been watching me for years, you know how paranoid I am about losing save progress, because that's what happened to me a couple times as a kid in this game. And it's always just from me not saving as often. Again, I am still playing this on the traditional PS2. I probably will eventually port this over to the emulator, my save at some point. I'm just not in a position to do that as of now, as far as taking the time to do that and changing quite a bit of how my recording structure works. I know it's not difficult, but I still think there's a couple of resources I actually need to make that work. So I'm just going to wait till I'm obviously going to take that seriously. Desert Runner. I've been running you grade 3s. I kind of want to keep you on that trajectory. But if there's not a grade 3, I'll run you in an open. That's not a terrible handicap. So that's what I'll do for you. Big Friday. Congratulations, my guy, on your first win. So broke his maiden. And still know virtually nothing about him, I guess is what I was trying to say. Run him in a 7 furlong open as well. I'm sure he's ready for grade 1s. Just kind of want to keep him on that trajectory for now. And who else needs to be put into a race? Rocky Hurricane. Ugh. Yeah, to think. That was a first race result. But granted, it was also off of a revolution, so... But you look, the last 2 races I won with him, we weren't expected to win, so we were on a winning streak, and that's how it falls apart, man. That's how it falls apart. And that's arguably one of my worst finishes with him since the grade 1 lead sprints last year, so not ideal for Rocky Hurricane, but let me try running him a little bit longer, too. I have been running him shorter, which I noticed in the last video I did. Yeah, let's see if I can run him a little bit longer. That would make more sense to try to get a more accurate gauge on his potential. There's really no available grade 1s I'm willing to throw him in. So to be honest, I'm probably just going to settle him. Forgot he has to take a layoff anyway, so I will settle him for the grade 2 Swan Stakes once he's ready. And okay, I think that's it. Am I missing somebody to get Chariot? Does a runner, rocker, marksman? I knew I was missing somebody. Marksman. All right. So good grade 1 there for Rocksman. Or excuse me, Marksman. Not Rocksman. Marksman. That's his second. Rocksman's actually kind of a decent name for a horse, depending on the niche. So I'm just looking for Rocky Hurricane because I have to take this grade 1. Oh, it should be fine. He's on a winning streak. Yeah, Marksman is on a, I think, 4 race winning streak. Pretty much at all the long distances, and you see how well he runs. So, guys, look at Marksman, man. Look at this guy. Remember, I was considering giving up on him, and it looked like his trajectory, his growth trajectory was happening slower than usual, and we didn't really, like, he is 91 power. The other stats are not super off the wall, but at least they're all, you know, above 70. So he doesn't really have a bad stat. 9 to 14 furlongs by Fairy Singer out of Butterfly Effect. I think I'm realizing that some of Fairy Singer's offspring, they're starting to finally hit their form. Their growth type has been a little bit delayed, but finally they're starting to actually do some positive things here. So Fairy Singer looked like initially he was going to be a flop as a sire, and it just appears that some of his like, again, they're really starting to show their form as they get older, so that's a good sign. Marksman in the World Turf Cup, that's a long ask, but it'd be awesome to see if he could win this race. Because again, we're not we're not even in a position to win the GWS, so I might as well put him in that race and see what happens anyways. Man. Alright, so 3 more races coming up. Top of the 5 we just did. And I don't know how long this video will be today. This could be a shorter one because I might chop this up into 2 separate parts. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I'll kind of keep going as long as it makes sense. But let's see. Yeah, we'll still have a couple more races to do after these next 3. So, oops, I just saved. Did not mean to do that. Alright, so we have an open and then something else. An open, a grade 1 with just the Osaka Derby with, I don't know who's in that race. Green Crystal, and then a grade 3 with Formal Method. So that's the schedule. Let's run it. Tanaka, didn't you just ask me for like a race like not even 20 minutes ago, bro? Come on, man. Just let me be. Just let me be, man. You know? Just let me be, dude. That's not cool. He just asked me to challenge him, like, I swear, 20 minutes ago, which in this game was like 5 races ago. It's like, come on, dude. You can't even wait. Can't even wait like a video, an episode a day. Falling Stars is up. Switching gears in this Moonlight open allowance. We are the favorite with Falling Stars. This colt that I always keep calling a filly, but I'm going to remember that going forward because most of the horses in this pedigree have been fillies as far as the names that we've used. Again, another son of Fairy Singer here. So again, I am hopeful that Fairy Singer has turned out to be a decent sire compared to what we initially thought. And I think that helps that we've used the brood mares we've used. I guarantee if I used Fairy Singer with like just average middle of the road brood mares, we probably wouldn't be getting good horses at all. But Galaxy Star, Butterfly Effect, some of our best mares and fillies that we've ever had on this playthrough. So this guy is the favorite in this open. Last corner leader grit. Some are not good, but 71 stamina, which is great. I don't know if he should be a front runner, but I don't know. Fairy Singer had a weird leg type as well, so just kind of have to watch and see how this plays out.
The horses are in the gate.
But yeah, just glad to get back to these races, and now I feel like I can actually make progress.
And away they go. That was a great start.
I feel like I can make serious progress and just make sure to save it every step of the way after every break in races. So we have, after this one, 2 more. I'm just going to make that a regular habit. So yeah, because again, having to lose progress since I'm already limited with when I record Gallop Racer, I just don't want to go through those headaches, and they're completely preventable. So I wish I knew your leg type, dude. You could be a closer or a front runner or a proceeder. He could be running anywhere. The leg type flexibility is definitely all over the place, so it's a little bit hard for me to judge where he really wants to be. I do have last corner leader, and I have to be more mindful of that on horses that actually have that ability. Now, 71 stamina is okay. It's not the best.
Show your guts.
Okay, we should still have last corner leader. Are they going to give that to us? They're not. Yeah, really kind of blew that late, but if this guy is as good as he should be, we should still be able to win this open. I couldn't do this against graded stakes competition and hope for the same result, but against a lesser competition of field, not the greatest spurt, and Falling Stars ends up getting the dub. This is also a race I won in the previous video, so far, the 6 races I've done today, I'm 4 for 6, so at least I've recovered by winning most of the ones I won previously. It does make me feel good. And that's good for our horses, most importantly. That's the reason we do this. Yeah, position wasn't good, which maybe he's not a front runner. But again, that's what I mean. Like, Fairy Singer was pretty flexible. He could run towards the back more so. So that's what I would suspect. Green Crystal up in the Osaka Derby running 10 furlongs. Heavy favorite here. Stable Chime's a good horse, so is Perfect Game. So if I don't run this right, it could totally end up losing to those horses. But Green Crystal, pretty solid on the dirt. Shouldn't run into too many issues here.
The horses are on the track.
Yeah. It's the Osaka Derby. We know. Eventually, I will get back to
The horses are
kind
in
of
the
making
gate.
a regular edition of the graphics of the real race names.
And
Just don't have the
that
time
was a
again.
beautiful start.
Just want to find an easier way to do that. I'm very methodical with like how I approach my editing, and as I've got older, I've realized that I really want to automate a lot more of how I produce my content and get it out to you guys quicker. I just want to improve my methods, and I'm still kind of figuring that out, especially for these 04 videos, because they're already time consuming just to record them. So it's like if I'm making additional edits, if I'm doing highlights, all that stuff is just like multiplying the time it takes for me to make a video. And again, sometimes depending on my schedule and my freedom as far as work or personal life activities, sometimes I have the length that I need to edit those things and do that stuff, and sometimes I just don't have obviously the time to get as much of it done as I want, or any of it outside of just recording the basic video and just making sure I get it out to you guys, which I'm sure most of you don't mind. But I would like to add some other things into the videos again to make them a little bit more interactive, to make them feel like you are kind of watching a racing program. That's my long-term goal, but I'm still figuring out how I'm going to go about that, and again, how I can automate it, because being able to automate your work process and still deliver the quality that you want, that's the important thing, and I'm still trying to weed through that myself.
2 furlongs to go.
Okay, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to do here. And I wasn't even trying to get a revolution.
First into the lead.
I just figured we were on cruise control. Now, we'll go for the record here, since we started. You guys know it. I talk about it all the time. I hate the incessant whipping with the revolutions. It's so unrealistic. And you would be disqualified and banned for doing that, obviously, in real life today. But it's a video game, and that's why we have to take it as such. Green Crystal secures the Osaka Derby, as I knew he would. This is just a repeat of what's already been done. So now we're actually we are 5 for 7 today. 5 for 7. So it's going a lot better than I thought. I was actually, like, again, I really thought I was actually going to be in a position of losing most of these races. So the fact that I am winning most of them back, and that was a perfect race, pretty high eval. That's awesome. But Green Crystal is an amazing horse. You just need to get him in the right position to win, and he kind of takes care of the rest. I don't even think it's that much of a jockey's like thing. I think if you know how to play the game, then for the most part you should get the win. If he's a preference of a horse that you like, sometimes just if you don't like the way the horse runs, it doesn't matter how good they are. That's different for everybody that plays this game. Grade 3 Yokohama, going 7 furlongs on the dirt with formal method. She's the winner, as she always is. Look at her stats. This is a race I never got to, so hopefully I can actually try to win with formal method. It just feels like such a race to not take advantage of her potential.
The horses are in the gate.
So, again, winning graded stakes, I don't know what happened. I won a couple and then it just became too difficult. She's 100% a weird horse. I don't care what anybody says. If you've had her and maybe you've had success and you didn't maybe lose as many races with her, that's fine. But for me, she is such a weird horse. She's one of the few weird horses I've had to work with. And again, I just wish she wasn't a front runner. I think her leg type is totally contradictory to what suits her best. I think she would be best suited as a preceder or a mid-pack runner. Now, if I get a revolution, that'd be great. Who is charging up? Stop. What is happening? Stop. Neither of you are even front runners. Like, I hate when the AI do that. I really do. Look how quickly her stamina drops. I was max stamina for a second, but I had to respond to the challenge of the other horses that wanted to run with us. Look at how quickly her stamina drops. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Wait till the last furlong to start pushing her? Now, she's supposed to win, and there's still a half a furlong to go, and the 3 is going to catch us. This is what I do. This is what I mean. It happens this way with formal method every time. It doesn't make sense. She is such. I was going to try to continue to race with her, but I can't. I can't figure it out. She is the most quirkiest, weirdest. It just doesn't make sense, man. Dude, you can't run her sooner. I will get comments saying to start the spurt sooner. For people that have played this game for a long time, they could probably vouch. If you do that on the wrong horse, it's not going to help you win. It will most certainly cost your loss. You have to still time your spurts with according to the horse and their leg type. Whether I've started her sooner or later, she dies out like that when it comes to the endurance part and the stretch. What seems like every time. I've won races with her, but when we don't, that's what's happening. Even when we've won, they haven't been super dominating, not usually. I think there's a rating of hers that I'm ignoring. I think it is the power rating, which again, like, what am I supposed to do with that? She's not a turf horse. I'm running her on the easiest surface supposedly, and she still can't get through it. It's unbelievable, man. It just, look at these stats. It's so frustrating to know I still have a dirt horse with these stats and I just cannot win with her anywhere. I mean, those are 2 races I've dropped in a row. If I were to lose another one with her, then I could potentially lose her for good. But this is, I guess she's one of those horses I'm just going to have to ignore the fact that she was a handful to deal with on track. Because she's totally a horse statistically that could still be competitive. But just, I can't figure it out. She's so weird, and I will run her the same way I've run other horses. It just, she doesn't end up having the same level of success. So I'm going to put her in a race. I'm probably going to give her a long layoff at this point because I'm not willing to lose her. And in the last video that I recorded before, I lost the progress, I was going to consider racing her still. I think I finally hit my point where I realized, you know what, I'm just going to need to retire her and call it a day because I can't deal with this anymore. And for whatever reason, she's just a weird horse. And I just hope that her positive stats pass down to her offspring without the headache of how she runs. That's what I'm hoping. But she's a pretty big headache, to say the least. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode here quickly again with the progress that I lost last time out. That was really frustrating and kind of threw me off, to be honest. I was supposed to have like 2 or 3 videos for you guys in that same session, but the power went out and then it also took until like the next morning for it to come back on. So I just ended up going to bed and just calling it. Falling Stars, I did your attack though. We raced with you. So still not telling me his leg type. His stats are okay. When I say okay, I mean like, yeah, you see they're kind of middle of the road here. Nothing's really jumping out at us, but we still have to wait for that speed, power, and maybe toughness rating. Yeah, 3 for 2. Tried him in his first grade 1, didn't do well. So I think I can try him in a grade 3 now. He seems to be okay here, but yeah, I'm going to run him 9 furlongs in a grade 3 in November. It's a little bit of a layoff, but I'd rather put him in the right races. He's 2 for 3 right now, so I think we should take it slow with him. And then Green Crystal will get you fired up. Next video, we'll go back to the normal length. I just wanted to make sure I made progress, saved this, let you guys know what happened, obviously. And then, yeah, next video will be a normal length one. I'll make sure I have everything kind of set up in advance. And we'll go from there. So one more win on the dirt for Green Crystal. He should be a dirt champion, which would be sweet. I'm going to put him in this music S. Again, I'm not chasing GWS titles with any particular horse. We're not going to win any of them. So I might as well put whoever I want in the races when they're available. So big on September 4th week coming up. We have a grade 2 and 3 grade 1s, which will be nice. So that's what we have for us next time out. Appreciate you guys for love and support. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on our horses and any progress we've made so far. Anything else you want to mention in regards to the website, even real horse racing, feel free to drop that in the comment section below. I will respond to you guys when you get the chance. And yeah, that'll do it. Until next time, though, HRG signing out. We'll be back ready for test today. I'll see you later. And goodbye.
Welcome to Horse Racing Gamer, where champions are made.